Today we're going to have the Larvitar Community Day, so hello and welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at the Shadow Tyranitar in the Open Great League. This Pokemon going to be very interesting. We're going to have another video with Tyranitar later on as well, where this is not even the spiciest Pokemon for the team there. Here, of course, we have a very more meta team, because actually what I thought with this team is I might be able to just destroy Noctowl with that thing. Noctowl is very common in the meta, at least nowadays. After the update, I faced basically in every team a Noctowl before, so I thought, why not try to hardwall it with a Tyranitar? Tyranitar has access to Smackdown, Tyranitar resists both of the charge moves of Noctowl, which is, of course, as you can see as well, Sky Attack as well as Shadow Ball. So, like, why not try to use my Tyranitar for that? Turns out, of course, when I tried to use Tyranitar, I basically faced next to no Noctowl at all. I don't know where they went. Like, honestly, I have no idea why all of a sudden everybody stops using Noctowl. No clue. But yeah, we saw at least here a very spicy team in the beginning, but I faced, I think, 1 or 2 Noctowl in total in 15 battles. I went 9 and 6 with this team, I think. So pretty decent, not gonna lie, for having, of course, Tyranitar was the worst Pokemon of this team. I don't have to say that, I think. Wasn't a great Pokemon to use, especially in this meta, but you have the 2 most, like, broken Pokemon in the meta with them in the team. Of course, this team going to do well. Medicham actually in the lead, kinda lost a lot of leads. Here, Trevenant again in the lead, which was not ideal, especially because Trevenant has access, of course, to Seed Bomb, which would one-shot, I think, even my Tyranitar. I'm going to go ahead and always go for one Ice Punch if I faced in the lead, and I faced it a ton of times in the lead. So I don't even understand even more now why nobody is using Noctowl all of a sudden, because there are so many Trevenants around. I have no idea. We see the Registeel coming in here, which is an actually okayish matchup, but luckily, thanks to the Seed Bomb that actually hits us, this next move should one-shot us as well, which is nice. Usually the Registeel can actually just go for Zap Cannon and farm it down your bird there, which is not really the ideal way. Like this, we're going to be able to shield up once here, but we will be able to get a ton of energy here. Of course, they're gonna get the debuff, and we can at least go for the full farm down, go for one Ice Punch here, go for another Ice Punch afterwards. I think they have a Seed Bomb already now, which is not ideal for me, but I'm going to let this move go through, actually. No, I'm actually going to shield it up, because maybe they have something weak in the back still. I can go ahead, go for the Ice Punch, knock them out, and let's see what they have. I'm going to swap out immediately. It's going to be a Drapion. Drapion is an interesting Pokemon to have here, as we will be able to smack them down. You see how much damage Smackdown does to the Drapion. They don't even one-shot me with one Awkward Tail, and I think this was a CMP type, which is even better. They're going to have to shield it up. They're going to get the defense drop as well, as we can take this Awkward Tail and we can go into our Medicham, getting just barely to the Ice Punch and win this game here. Good game there. Tyranitar at least smacking down some Pokemon. It doesn't really matter if it's a Noctowl or not. This thing just does damage. We see a Medicham lead here. This is kind of okay for me. Definitely something that I want to see here more than in the back, because of course my Tyranitar is double weak to counter users. Also one reason why I have Medicham here in the lead. Medicham beats both the Glare and Stunfisk, which you cannot do anything about it, with the Tyranitar, as well as like other counter users usually, which is also really important, while you still have a good answer for counter users in your Noctowl, of course, in the back there. We will be able to take this Psychic now, and I should be able to go for one Ice Punch here. This was not ideally played, I think. I will get farmed down here as far as I know, but they're actually going to go for another charge move, which is cool. I can let this move go through. It's going to be a Power Punch, which is wild, and I can farm them all the way down with my Noctowl. So no matter what they have in the back, I at least have some energy for it. I fear that they have a Bastion in the back, but we have to see. We will see. Of course, it's a Bastion in the back. I can swap them directly into my Tyranitar, but this is not an ideal matchup at all. They're going to swap out before I even get to my move into their Lickitung, so we can hit them with one Stone Edge. Good damage there against them, as we're going to be able to resist the Lick, but also we still have to shield here. We have to try to get the debuff against the Bastion, and let's hope that we can get there. And hopefully the Bastion also tries to throw against us. We're gonna go for the Crunch here immediately, going to do a lot of damage, and we get the debuff here. Maybe actually 2 Shadow Balls are now enough to knock out this Bastion. Let's see, we have enough energy at least for one already. Let's see how much damage it's going to do here. Going to do actually a lot of damage. Let's see, with the Wing Attack damage, is the second one enough to knock them out here? Let's see, the debuff might help us out, but sadly it's just not enough, and yeah, this is going to be a good game. Sadly, Nothing we can really do here. A lot of Bastions around right now, and we see another Medicham in the lead here as well, which is not really the Pokemon that I want to see at all, but like at least in the lead it's kind of fine. We're going to shield up immediately because the Psychic would hurt a lot here as we go for our own Psychic. We will be able to hopefully land this here as we do, and we will be able to get even a defense drop here, which is amazing, as we can go for an Ice Punch here, trying to get the shield from the opponent, and we should be able to even farm them down afterwards. We will see that they're going to go for the shield, which is cool. I can just shield up here as well, going to be another Psychic most likely, and I can farm them all the way down as they swap into a Lickitung, allowing me to go into my Noctowl, which completely awards this Pokemon. Of course, still Body Slam going to be neutral, but the main damage source of Lickitung is usually the Lick damage alone. One-turn moves in general very, very strong currently in the Great League meta, as not a lot of Pokemon have a lot of HP here. Our Noctowl has a lot of HP, it's double resisted, and also the Body Slam doesn't do too much. We will be able to go for another charge move here, going to go for the Sky Attack, and I will be able to farm down after this Body Slam, allowing me to win this matchup pretty easily. As we see, I think there was an Obstagoon coming in here, which we can try to hit with one Sky Attack. I'm going to swap into my Medicham, as we will be able to go for another Ice Punch here, trying to do some damage here. So double counter users, a little bit tricky of course for our Pokemon in the back with the Tyranitar. We'll see that I can go for another Ice Punch here, knocking them out, so that's going to be fine. They're still going to be able to knock out my own Medicham. Oh, never mind. Oh no, it's the Lickitung that goes down. They're going to forfeit here anyway. Okay, that's fine. Next opponent here, we will see Gliscor in the lead. Gliscor going to be an okay-ish lead. Not something that I want to stay in for too long, but I will be able to get a shield advantage, which is already very good for my Tyranitar. Having a shield advantage helps out a lot because Ice Punch, of course, are double super effective. They're going to want to shield this. And I expect them to go straight for the next charge move because they are greedy for the boost. They really want to get the boost usually with Gliscor. Doesn't really help them if I can catch it on a Noctowl. Sadly though, they're going to have the Lantern in the back. This should not knock me out yet because Noctowl is so bulky exactly that I can still go for one Shadow Ball, trying to get them low. And also they don't get a lot of farm here, which is amazing for me, as I can go into my Medicham. That's still going to hit the Surf before I can get to my next move. I'm going to have to give up the shield here, as I kind of want to keep my Medicham a little bit healthy at least, as I can go for the Psychic now, trying to knock them out. Let's see what they want to do. They're going to let this move go through, as we see now. Incoming, the Gliscor, I can still get to another move here, trying to knock them out with that one. Let's see, they're going to get the next shield from me, and I'm going to swap out into Tyranitar. It's not now all on Tyranitar. All eyes on it. We see the move coming up. It's going to be a bait here. Let's see what they have in the back. It's going to be the Umbreon. Umbreon going to be an interesting one to beat here. We will have to get to another crunch in time, as we hopefully going to be able to do this. They're going to go ahead and go straight for the move. They need 3 or more fast moves. 1, 2, 3, but they don't throw. They had the move already before, but I think they underestimated my energy here. Because like it doesn't really make sense to not throw there, and they definitely had the move already 1 turn before I would get there. So like 3 turns basically, then 1 move before I would get there. So good game there. I think I could have lost this if they went straight for the move, but very good for me though that they didn't. We will see a Deoxys in the lead. Deoxys is something that I don't really have an answer for. This is a Pokemon that's a little bit tricky for me right now to deal with. Also a Pokemon that I'm surprised that we don't see that too often in regionals right now, because I feel like this is a very cool Pokemon in the current meta. Deoxys breaks the core of Medicham, Galarian, Stunfisk, and Noctowl, which is the most common core right now. It still doesn't have the craziest best matchup against either of them. Like, it's still going to be neutral against basically everything of it, but it's a very neutral Pokemon in general to use on the current meta, as this core kinda all struggles a little bit with it. Galarian Stunfisk struggles with the counter, the Medicham struggles with the challenge moves, and also with the typing itself, because you cannot really hit it for good damage. And then you're going to have the Noctowl, which is going to struggle with either Thunderbolt or the Rock Slide. So pretty decent there. Of course, they also have Shadow Ball against you, but counter is a little bit stronger, I guess. I actually wonder, like, if the matchup against Noctowl is a win somewhere, or if it's always a loss. Don't actually know. But here we see the Deoxys is going to shield up our Crunch. We will be able to go ahead and go into our Noctowl, taking this Rock Slide here, and hopefully we will be able to go for, I think a Sky Attack is already enough. Deoxys is bulky, but it's not bulky enough to take the Sky Attack, but they're going to swap into the Lickitung. Very smart swap here. And this kind of seals the deal for my opponent, I think. Look, by the way, at the CP of the Lickitung. I guess CP doesn't always matter too much here. It's not even like, I think it's a level 40 or something version of it. A little bit higher, I think, a little bit higher. But doesn't really help us here. We will still be able to get to 1 more Ice Punch, but we sadly just miss out barely on another Ice Punch for the Deoxys. So going to be a good game. Well played there by my opponent. Next up coming, Galarian Stunfisk. Exactly what we want to face in the lead, and we see a Dragonite coming in. We're going to go ahead, and we have to shield up once here, but we can smack them all the way down with Shadow Tyranitar here. Superpower coming through, fine for me. I can go ahead and go for one crunch against the opponent's incoming Stunfisk, which is going to at least do around 40%, I would guess at this point. Yeah, it does around 40%, which is cool for a neutral move against this Pokemon. And we would be able to reach another one, but they're going to decide to throw another charge move before. I expect them to have Altaria on the back, so I'm going to just let this move go through, and I kind of think I need the shield later on a little bit more. I try to go for another Ice Punch here as well. We see the Altaria coming in, and I'm going to try to go for 2 Ice Punches. If they let one go, that would be amazing. Let's see here. They're going to let the first move already go through, which is amazing, as I will be able to get the shield with the next one, but now Sky Attack is definitely in range after the Wing Attack damage here as well to knock out this Altaria, and I should be pretty fine with the Moonblast coming through here. I can go ahead and go for my own Sky Attack. This will do a ton of damage, will most likely knock them out if they let this move go through. They don't let this move go through. I have to shield up now as well. Let's hope that they don't try to catch the move here, and they are trying to catch the move. I'm going to have to go for an undercharge now, which is going to be risky, but hopefully this was enough to farm them down. It was enough to farm them down. I have another Sky Attack loaded now, and thanks to this undercharge there, I was able to get to another move here, knocking out the Altaria. Good game to my opponent. Next one coming in, we see the Obstagoon and now the Noctowl coming in. Finally, we will be able to get the Noctowl onto our Tyranitar here. I could just shield once and farm them all the way down, but I just gotta throw my move here. Will allow me to knock them out straight away. And this was the only Noctowl I think I faced, or like maybe one more, I'm not sure. But like it took me so long to find a single Noctowl, which is so wild because right now it's literally everywhere usually, but not when I play Tyranitar, I guess. We actually see the Obstruct there, which is interesting, as we will also see the Dedenne coming in here. Going to be able to shield up one move. I'm going to have to swap out soon here. Noctowl is kinda something I can give up on. We will see the Discharge coming through. Actually 2-shots me, which is annoying. I have to kinda I have to shield this move, right? Yeah, I have to shield this move up. Discharge coming through. I need to get another shield from the opponent. And we do, which is at least pretty decent here. I still would maybe get to the Shadow Ball, actually get to the Shadow Ball, but they catch it on the Obstagoon. And I need more energy now for the Dedenne, so I'm going to not throw a single charge move, a fast move there, so I can farm them down here and still get to one Psychic. I keep my shield, they're gonna go for the Obstruct, it doesn't matter. But now I have a Psychic stored, and hopefully Psychic is enough to knock out this Dedenne, which seems to core break me a lot recently as well. Dedenne definitely also has a little bit more play recently. It's just so sad that the stats of this Pokemon are kinda horrendous. If it just had like a little bit more bulk, it would be clearly the best electric type in the current meta, beating both Medicham as well as Noctowl pretty easily, as well as Sableye, for example. But yeah, I wish there also would be a little more viable charge moves for the fairy types. Like you have Moonblast or whatever, but they're all super high energy, which is a little bit tricky with a lot of Pokemon, especially also like here with the Dedenne. Play Rough being also like one of the more common ones. It's a little bit tricky. So yeah, I wish there would be some more better fairy types, like charge moves in general, like 40 energy or something, but sadly there is not right now, and I don't think there's any real fairy type move that's currently available that would help there either. So Niantic is also kind of locked there. There are not a lot of fairy type moves in general in the games, so yeah, maybe just buff Play Rough. Nah, Play Rough would also buff Azumarill then again, so it's a little bit tricky. I don't know. We will see here the Registeel in the back. That's going to be a tricky one. They have a Pelipper already. Registeel will get some nice damage from this crunch, as you're going to see here, putting below half, and they're going to get the debuff as well. But we have to hope that we can farm them all the way down with our Medicham now. We have to farm them down, and they still get to a move with a 1 HP, which is annoying because now the opponent will be able to go ahead and farm me down. I think if I might have got the move off, I might have been able to knock them out still, especially after the debuff there. So sad. If I didn't, like, if I just was able to get this 1 more damage against the opponent's Registeel, I would have been fine. Good lead for the first time here as well with the Bastion, and we see a Victory Bell coming in. I want them to lower me down here so the Bastion doesn't get as much harm against me, so I'm fine with them throwing Leaf Blade at me. I will get very, very low with that. I can go for 1 more Shadow Ball now as well. I can go for 1 fast move. I don't even go for the fast move. Okay, interesting. But I could go for 1 more fast move. But I will still be able to reach another Shadow Ball in time as well, getting this Pokemon a little bit lower. And let's see what they have in the back. So hopefully we will still be able to win this game. We see a Medicham in the back. This is going to be a tough one because where does the Tyranitar go here? It's going to be a little bit of a trickier one for me because Tyranitar doesn't really have a good matchup at all now. We see the Power Punch, I predicted this. Usually you run Power Punch if you have Medicham in the back with the Bastion in the lead there, like Grassel, like advanced Grassel basically. You still have Victreebel as a grass Pokemon, but you don't use another grass Pokemon because Medicham just works better. So I hopefully can farm them all the way down here. It's going to be Ice Punch coming through. We see the Bastion actually swapping in here, which is going to be even a little bit more tricky. Because now I have to farm down the Medicham as well with my Tyranitar. My Medicham basically goes down here. I have my Tyranitar coming in here. We can go ahead and go for the Crunch. We have to go for the Crunch, and hopefully we can farm them all the way down now. Let's see. We will be able to knock them out, and we can farm down the Medicham for the win. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great community day, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!